Hi everybody, Swampy Bouchard here. For those who don't know me, I am a partner and a member of the World Barefoot Center here in Winter Haven, Florida. I am a devout barefoot water skiing fan. Been involved for years and years and years behind the scenes. I am a true fan of the sport, true fan of these athletes. And I just want to make it very, very clear. I'm going to go on a little tirade over here about what's happening in our sport. And this right here is my own personal views. I am speaking for myself and myself only. I am not speaking for any other individual or any other organization. I'm speaking as a barefooting fan from my heart. For those of you that know me, I am not politically correct. I like to get to the point. I am direct. I speak from the heart. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but you always know where I stand. I'm also big on communication. So keep all that in mind. I want to talk a little bit here about the World Barefoot Council, the IBA, the International Barefoot Association, the new organization that was just formed by the skiers, for the skiers. The ABC, the American Barefooting Club. And I want to talk about the leadership of each group and organization. I want to talk about the new leadership of the ABC, American Barefoot Club, of Cody Heller, about Cody Heller. I want to go through all this scenario because there is an awful lot of propaganda going on out there, and there's a lot of lies and deceiving people talking behind the scenes. And I want to clear the air a little bit. First of all, as a fan of barefoot water skiing, I've been watching this sport and involved in this sport for a long time. And being down here at the World Barefoot Center, I have the opportunity to live this sport 7 days a week. The World Barefoot Center, we are in operation 7 days a week, year round. We have skiers from around the world that come here on a daily basis. We have officials that come here on a daily basis. We get to communicate, we get to talk to, we get to hang out, to rub shoulders with all the skiers in the world, whether it's show skiers, figure eight skiers, beginners, weekend warriors, competitive skiers, three event skiers, freestylers, whatever you want to call them. We get to hang out with all of them. We get to see them all. We get to talk to all of them. Personally, myself, I coach some of the top skiers in the world. I coach David Small, Keith St. Ons, Ben Groen, Ashley Stebbings, Stefan Weimer, which is a European champion, and a lot of the other skiers. And I run the sponsorship program here at the World Barefoot Center. We are involved with barefoot water skiing 7 days a week. We have our fingers on the pulse. I know what the skiers think. I talk to them. I know what they like, what they don't like. I have my finger on the pulse of where they stand and what they think of the sport. I am also a big sports fan, so I understand how sports work and what it takes to become a sports fan. Okay, let's start off with the World Barefoot Council. First of all, let's make something clear. The skiers do not have an issue with the World Barefoot Council as a council, because the World Barefoot Council is nothing but a governance body of the IWWF. Okay, that's all it is. It's a body. It's symbolism. The skiers have an issue with the leadership of the council. The leadership of the council, which is old school, old guard, controlling, unresponsive, unable to communicate. People are not willing to change. Very polarizing. All right. I know for a fact that we've been working with the World Barefoot Council for several years now. The leadership of the World Barefoot Council for several years. And let me tell you what's going on over there. It's a good old boys club. You got 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 to 4 people back there that control and pull all the strings. Okay. The rest of the council is in the dark. There's no communication going on. None. They have no communication. You go in their forum, you can go years without seeing any good communication going on. You got a handful of people that have total control of the sport. And they've been driving people out of the sport for years. They don't want to work with anybody. All right? They don't bring votes to the table. They don't communicate with their board members. These 1 or 2 or 3 individuals, okay, think for whatever reason that they're the end all of the sport. They want to have total control. They think they're entitled. They think that they're going to have the final say. They bring issues to the rest of the board that they know that are going to pass, things that they want to go through. Everything else they hide from everybody else. All right, it's a very polarizing group. The World Barefoot Council has got cancer. It is rotten from the inside out. It is dying a slow, painful death. All right, when you do not have the trust and the respect from the people you represent, then you lose your ability to govern. And I can speak for the facts that the current leadership of the World Barefoot Council have neither the trust or the respect from the majority of these skiers. And definitely the majority of the top skiers in the world that represent the sport. I know that for a fact. They have lost that trust. They have lost that respect. They have lost their ability to govern. So the issue that all these skiers have is not with the World Barefoot Council per se. They would love to be able to work with the World Barefoot Council. They cannot. They will no longer even try to work with them with that current leadership because they have failed. They've been lied to. They've been manipulated. And it's not working. All right? There's a lot of people out there that are a little upset with the IBA because of the propaganda going on. They believe that they're dividing the sport. Folks, the sport is divided. It's going to remain divided until the leadership of the World Barefoot Council changes. Once the leadership of the World Barefoot Council changes to new, open-minded, more progressive thinking type of people that are willing to work with the skiers and the people they represent, then the sport will remain divided. Once that changes at the World Barefoot Council, then you're going to have the ability to all work together and to move the sport forward. In the meantime, these skiers have formed a new organization called the IBA, International Barefooting Association. And I applaud these skiers. I applaud them. Good for them. Because this sport ultimately is about the skiers. It's not about the officials. It's not about a handful of people that do this part-time, that are not involved in this sport. You got to remember, the people that run this sport, think about this. The people that run this sport have got jobs. They get lives. They do other things. This is a part-time thing that they volunteer in. Good for them. Glad to see you can volunteer. But this is not something that you live every day. And they run the sport. The IBA is about a bunch of skiers that love this sport. And this is the sport, it's about the skiers, not the officials. And these guys are passionate. And they're taking control of their sport. They're taking back their sport. And they formed the IBA. And the IBA's got some great leadership that's gotten involved. Some phenomenal leadership. And the IBA is not going away. The IBA is all about the skiers for the skiers. We are going to move this sport forward. When I say we, because I strongly support, I'm speaking for myself, but I strongly support the International Barefooting Association. Bar none. I was ready. Personally, I was ready to walk out of the sport until the IBA was formed. Because personally, I've been lied to by this WBC leadership, and I've been watching this sport die a slow death, and I was frustrated, and I personally was done. I was just one other guy that was walking out of the sport. Except for the World Barefoot Center and our business and the personal skiers that I deal with. The IBA revived myself personally, and it revived a lot of other people. Now, let's talk about leadership. Leadership is all about bringing people together, correct? It's not about dividing, but it's about bringing people together. The whole purpose of the IBA is because of the leadership of the World Barefoot Council that cannot unite, but that can only divide. Their inability to lead, their inability to bring the people together and to work with the skiers and to represent the skiers has forced the skiers to run off and to form their own organization. That's a lack of leadership. I have had phone calls and I have seen emails from the leaders of the World Barefoot Council that have been crucifying the leaders of the IBA. Lee Stone, the new CEO of the International Barefoot Association, has been crucified by a certain honorary member of the World Barefoot Council, calling him lazy, ineffective. Well, Lee Stone has been the CEO of the IBA, and he's been holding weekly meetings. And I'll tell you right now, the skiers have got nothing but the utmost respect and trust in Lee Stone. He has been an incredible leader. He's been the type of leader that this sport needs. Also, Robbie Groen, president of the New Zealand Federation, and also Rob Mellencamp, president of the European Union. They've been crucified by the propaganda machine of the World Barefoot Council. But you know what? These guys have been incredible leaders for the IBA, representing the skiers, sticking their necks out. Very proud of these guys. That's what leadership is all about. That's what's going to move the sport forward. People that want to work with the people they represent. People that are willing to change and think outside the box. That's what's going to move the sport forward. That's what these guys are doing. Now I want to talk about another gentleman. His name is Cody Heller. Cody Heller, first of all, my personal relationship with Cody Heller is very minimal. Cody and I really don't know each other. Never really have. Cody's never been to the World Barefoot Center. I have never been to the Blue Moon. I know Cody because we have met because of our association with Barefoot here in the United States. And we have met at tournaments, and we have spoken briefly here and there at tournaments, and that's about the extent of our relationship. Well, a couple years ago I've talked to him a little more in depth about the sport, and I was very impressed with him. He's a business owner up there in Wisconsin, which is a great thing. And when I found out and I heard that he was becoming president of the ABC, the American Barefoot Club, I was very, very happy. Because the ABC, like all the other organizations in this sport, was falling apart, was dying a slow death, was ineffective. And the American Barefooting Club and Barefooting in the States on a competitive level was getting to the point where it was a laughing stock. We needed new leadership. We needed people that could think outside the box. Cody became president of the ABC, and he has listened to the skiers. He has worked with the skiers. He has stuck his neck out. He is willing to change. He has become a leader. And I have become so impressed with this young man. He is exactly what this sport needs. And the ABC ought to be very, very proud of the job that Cody Heller is doing for the ABC and also for the rest of the sport. Now, because Cody Heller stuck his neck out, and because he's working with the IBA, and because he's listening to the skiers and he wants to work with the skiers, he has been getting crucified by the propaganda machine of the World Barefoot Council. But let's make something very clear. The majority of the skiers on this planet, the majority of the top skiers in the world, all support the ABC and Cody Heller on what he is doing today. Make no mistake about it. We are all very proud of what he is doing, and we all support him 1,000%. I know for a fact, skiers from Europe, skiers from Australia, there are skiers from New Zealand, there are skiers from South Africa, and there are tons of skiers from the US of A, and there are skiers from Canada to support what the ABC and what Cody Heller is doing. No matter what the propaganda machine from the World Barefoot Council, who is dying a slow and painful death, is trying to do to smear Cody Heller. This sport needs leaders like Lee Stone, Cody Heller, Rob Groen, Rob Mellencamp, and a lot of other people out there that are willing to think outside the box, that are willing to represent the skiers, that are willing to change, and that are willing to buck the good old boys club of the World Barefoot Council. Now I know also for a fact that they're going to come after me now for this little video. I really don't give a damn. I really don't. I don't care. You know what? I hope you sharpen your arrows, and I hope you use hollow point bullets. because only the opinions of the people that I trust and respect matter to me. If I don't trust you, if I don't respect you, then your opinion means nothing to me. There's going to be people out there that's going to think that I'm in it because, you know, I'm all about the US of A. I'm supporting the ABC because it's an American club. Wrong. Anybody that knows me knows better. I really don't care about this team stuff, to be honest with you. I care about the sport. I care about skiers. I represent skiers from around the world. David Small is English. Ashley Stebbings is Australian. Ben Groen is New Zealand. Keith St. Onge is American. Stefan Weimer is Austrian. And I can go on and on and on. I care about them. That's who I care about. I care about the skiers. I care about the sport. The sport needs to change. The sport needs leadership. The skiers are sticking together. They're united. They're not going away. I'm asking everybody out there that cares about this sport to back the IBA, International Barefoot Association, to back the ABC, who's bucking the trend, who is supporting the new dynamic leader, Cody Heller. Back Cody Heller. Back Lee Stone. Back Stefan Weimer, who's a skiers rep out in Europe. Back Ben Groen, who's a skiers rep all over the world. Back the skiers. Back the leaders that are trying to change the sport. Back the IBA. And when and if the World Barefoot Council ever changes the old guard, the people that have controlled the sport for so long, and change it with new dynamic leaders that want to change the sport, then and only then will we ever be able to work together to move the sport forward. Because to have a working relationship, you got to have trust. You got to have respect. And right now, that is gone from the current leaders of the World Barefoot Council. And remember, when we say the current leaders, we're not talking about all members of the World Barefoot Council. There are a lot of people out there that have worked tirelessly and have tried their best. There are current members out there that would like to change, but they're left in the dark. They don't know what's going on. There are a lot of past members that have worked tirelessly, and for these people we respect and love. There are some honorary members of the World Barefoot Council, like Andy Harris, that have done a lot for the sport, and that are standing in the background and watching all this develop, not taking any sides, just get the best interests of sport at heart. We have no qualm with any of these guys. It's the current 2, 3, 4 leaders right now that have total control, that lie, that cheat, that are trying to do everything they can to bring everything that we're trying to do down. It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. The IBA is going to be putting on a new World Championship tournament at the Blue Moo in August. Technically, we can't call it a World Championship because the World Barefoot Council owns that name. So it's going to be called something differently. But trust me, it's going to be the World Championships because all the best skiers in the world will be at that tournament. It may be called something else, but the substance will be there. The World Barefoot Council may be trying to put on their own World Barefooting Championships, but all the top skiers will not be at that tournament. Make no mistake about it. A lot of teams will not be at that tournament. It'll just be a little symbolic tournament justifying their slow death because of their inability to lead and their inability to represent and work with the skiers that they are working for. You're going to hear a lot more about this, and once again, these are my personal views, and as you've seen, I mince no words because I am very passionate and I believe every word that I said. And trust me, I work barefooting 7 days a week, and this is what I see and this is what I feel every day from skiers and officials from all over the world. All right, come support us. We're looking for everybody's support. We're looking forward to moving this sport forward. We are excited. Thank you. Talk to you all later.